It's 1:02 p.m. 6/14/2023. All right, clean up. I'm waiting for my Facebook account to be unbanned or stuff like that. And now that I can't wait to read the reports on my Twitter account, no less. Because again, I can see why certain people blocked my account, right? Because again, let me tell you this: as I was breaking down what was going on at Harold Washington, because again, who gets banned at Harold Washington, and like as I go break down like my overall library career, like I believe like from 6 to 7 years, right? Like yeah, as a page going to clerk, and from going to West Lawn to clearing library, because again, I didn't break down my time at clearing library because quite literally that was like the worst time ever because I think people would be surprised that I survived for that long because I was there for what 2 or 3 years, maybe four. Like I can't remember like off the top of my head. Like yeah, because again, like Cherry Nunchuck was the acting librarian, even though she didn't have the official title, right? Because they were looking for a head librarian, and again, lo and behold, there was side beefs, all kinds of weird shit going on in the background, stuff a lot. Excuse my language, because again, there was a lot of racism going on in the background that no one wanted to acknowledge. Like that was the elephant in the room, and lo and behold, I love to make jokes out of it. Like, oh, ha ha, like that one scene from like Guardians of the Galaxy where the guy's eating chips. Like, yeah, oh, you're racist. You see him? Like, it's one of those because it's like I was made. I had dry humor because quite literally it was just as straight out like that. And it's not like I like Terry Nunchuck either. Like, because quite literally she was a Saturday left wing Democrat, a Dixiecrat, whatever, a Blue Dog Democrat, wherever, like, yeah, technical rainbow bullshit adjective you want to use, again, like technocrat, whatever, yeah. It's not like you're working class, yeah. I mean, like, technically that is working class, but not really. I kid you not. Being a librarian is such a dream job. Bro, I was so devastated when the day I had said to myself, I can't be a librarian. Because again, it's not like I didn't want to be a librarian, but I said to myself, what's the point of being a librarian in Chicago, right? If there is a if it's a hostile environment, one way or another, whether it be from the neighborhood itself or your staff or the staff that you work with, right? Because again, what's the point from going from one branch to another? Because again, like people gossip, people backbite all the time, and Harry Washington is infamous for gossiping. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't engage. Nor do I engage with neighborhood watch and like and try to go and narrow down certain people behavior. Like yeah, and watch them like as if like you're like a detective, no less. Because you know what? Let me just say this. Because every time I worked at the library, right, regardless whether it be West Lawn or Clearing or wherever, even anybody could point this out to you. You could immediately pick out the weirdos by saying this. What did they go and use the internet for, right? Because immediately there's a lot of them. Like there's there's Kurtniks right there, right, who just use the internet for porn, right? Then go have book clubs. That shit's weird to me, right? And not only that, there was this one interview where this guy was talking about, yeah, I watch porn on the internet. Like, okay, you're the guy one way or another, like stuff like I don't know why you even did that. And now that there's people like, and this is like on the sneak tip. This is like any librarian, like or any bookstore person, clerk would understand this too. Like, if you gravitate towards the true crime section, you understand one day that you will understand sooner or later that they're excuse me one second, that they're fetishizing, yeah, like that they're fetishizing to the point like that you want to actually looking for tips, like yeah, as if like they're Dexter or something like that. Okay, genius. Like again, like every CPD officer can see that. Like yeah, not only that, the officer had the satellite station right there saw that, and yeah, like to pick on me no less because again, he liked to throw people under the bus first to befriend the community. But it's hilarious too. Like that community would never like him, and he knew it too, like because it's racism. And like he tried to talk to me, like, bro, like I don't know why you bring up the racist card or whatever they would say in his head, right? He wouldn't phrase it like that because he's white passy. He understood what I meant by that, but at the same time, He's a fascist, no matter what. My politics is different from his politics. We're just two separate people. Not only that, we should have been separated from the very beginning. But at the same time, we understood each other to the point like this neighborhood is crazy. There's like Alex Jones, like Hitler Youth types that need to be weeded out. Like quite literally, yeah. And again, it's funny to me, like when I read Elvis Cleaver, when I first started there, like people would look at me with, like, "Excuse me," like I read on the Black Panther history, like stuff like that. Yeah, that's besides the point, though. Like, yeah, because again, like when you work at the library or a clerk at a bookstore, you understand how people think by the put the stuff to read, but it's not like they gravitate towards education because again you can see people's personal prejudices if you have just like what like 2 or 3 minute conversation with them like right off the bat. Sometimes maybe it just takes 30 seconds. Yeah. So again, like Scott came through a few times, like yeah, but, like and he was the head of AFWE. Like I'm pretty sure like he heard complaints to me to no end, like yeah, to no and I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like I'm just sitting here doing my work. And again, like it got so hostile to the point, like, dude, like I had a nervous breakdowns back to back to back. And there's a lot of things contributing that, whether it be like from a hostile environment at work or like a really toxic environment at home. And it was both to no end. Like now that I had negative influences in my life to the point, like, yeah, all my friendships were just toxic relationships. And again, like you wonder why I kept to myself for so many years and just monitored my mental health and just tried finding ways to make myself happy, let alone just live my life normally, right? Yeah, because again, after all that happened, there was so many forced hospitalizations. And like there was so many times where like yeah, like even before I went to Pittsburgh and after, yeah. And it's like I was a bit surprised by all of that, no less. And again, like like again, like I had it pretty rough, but then again, things could have been far worse. Because again, people looked at me weird when I went to Lydia. The environment, the people there, but not only that, like we knew, like, it seemed like we knew what the type of person I was. Because I was again, like I was very quiet. I wasn't withdrawn. That's what people would think. Yeah, and people thought it was weird. Like, not really, buddy. Like, I just suffered a lot of trauma. Like, and I kept to myself. Because again, who would want to go walk around Robinson, Illinois? No offense, like it's a bad neighborhood. Like it's drug ridden, gang ridden. Now that everybody starts clapping at each other, meaning people shoot at each other left and right. Yeah, and like when you go down the street from Lydia, you can get crack and heroin. And now that like you see like gang signs all over the place saying, "Don't come here." Yeah. Quite literally, yeah. And again, it's funny to me, like when people get shipped off there, no offense, I don't like saying it like that too. Like, yeah. But you can see why I mean by that when you go and look at the gated defenses, because again, like dude, I saw so many escapes. Like quite literally, it's not even funny. And I saw like so many times where people got tased, like, again, especially people who were like really not stable, right? And they get sued one way or another, and people get fired left and right, right? Yeah. Because Susan is a drunk and that doesn't know how to treat her workers, let alone the people there. Like, yeah, the residents, there's over 400 residents. Like, if you look at the quality and the conditions of that medical facility, you'd be surprised why so many state operators came through. Like, why is it still here? Like, yeah, whether it be bribe or personal investigations, whether it be through FBI, because the local police department did not care one way or another. Because I spoke with them several times and I look at them and it's like, just you wait, buddy. Just you wait. I know you're fucking up. I know you're fucking up. Yeah. And I know Susan looked at me like, yeah, as if I was the problem because she knew that I was like one of the smartest people there. Yeah, and it's not, best believe there's some underground smart people there that just kept to themselves. Yeah. Not Bot, not Chris, not even Cece, even though I hung out with all three, right? Quite literally, because again, like those are the people who I normally gravitate to because I actually can have a conversation with them. Not saying that you're stupid or anything. It's just like those are the people, those are the type of crowds I normally gravitate towards too. Even though I didn't like Block. And quite literally, I graduated towards Chris more. And again, like there was a weird thing between those two. I'm like, I wonder why. And now that they said Chris was dead, and I'm like, okay, that's when I started working more over there. Like, yeah. And is it working? You mean working angles? This mother would say, like, yeah. That's why I love Mike, because Mike was my roommate for some time. And let me just continue on with the stream of thought and post this on YouTube. It's 1:12 p.m., 6/14/2023. Like, I'll start bringing this out for even more. Yeah.